Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sandeep Bansal and I welcome you all to my channel 100 Healers Insights. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about debt and bankruptcy, the astrology behind the reasons of debt and bankruptcy in a horoscope, why some people face these troubles and problems of debt and bankruptcy, which are the houses involved, which are the signs involved, how the planets play the role, and which are the dashas in which the person takes such decisions that lead to downfall of the person, leading to severe debts, and finally the bankruptcy of a person. So let's start today PowerPoint presentation. Jai Shri Ram. So friends, first I'll discuss which are the main houses which we should analyze to understand the financial problems and debt in a chart. Now one of the most important houses is the second house. Now this is the house of wealth in astrology. It is known as Dhan Bhava, also known as Kutum Bhav, and the primary house of wealth. If I have to analyze the how much is the person is wealthy, what is the earning capacity of the person, how much a bank balance a person has, this is the house I am going to analyze in the horoscope. It is the house of accumulated wealth, whatever the person has saved in his life. 11th house is the house of income, the 11th house. This house shows how much income the person is getting. 12th house is the expenses, how much the person has expended. And this is the net balance, second house. The assets of the person, the value of a person is decided by the second house. Ability to save money, wealth, is seen from second house. A powerful second house means person has ability to earn wealth, a person has ability to save money, has a good bank balance, has a good value, financial value. If the second house is afflicted by the presence of bad planets, weak planets, or by the weakness or affliction of the second lord, the lord of the second house, this shows that person will not be able to save money. This shows the loss of money. This shows a weak second house means low earning capacity. The whole life person will keep struggling for wealth. If the second house is weak. This is the primary house which we should first analyze when we are checking the horoscope for the problem of finance. Now, the primary two houses of debt are 6th house and the 8th house. Both these houses are the bad houses. They are the Trik Bhava. 6, 8, 12, three houses are known as Trik Bhava. And 6th and 8th both are bad houses of the horoscope. And both houses are the debt houses. But what is the difference in the debt of 6th house and the debt of 8th house? The 6th house debt is the routine debt which a person has. For example, a person goes to bank and takes an education loan or a car loan or home loan and is paying back the EMIs. So all their debt is seen from the 6th house. The bank loans, the credit cards, the day-to-day and most of the people are having these loans and it's not that troublesome. 6th house debts are the debts which person is paying gradually, slowly, is paying back the amount, and these shows little stress. The debt of the 6th house is not the debt which will lead to crisis in the life of the person. Sometimes there can be conflict and struggle. Sometimes the creditors can come and ask for the money, which may lead to some arguments, some little trouble. But 6th house debts generally doesn't cause main problem in the life. The main culprit which leads to bankruptcy or crisis in life is the 8th house, the debt of the 8th house. This is the house of bankruptcy. This is the house of the sudden collapse, sudden losses, where the person has invested money into some business venture. Now that business venture has totally failed, leading to severe financial losses. And the creditors and bank is now coming back to ask the money. And then comes the penalties, the court cases, the tax penalties. Person is not paying the taxes. All that is seen from the 8th house. This is the house, very, very difficult house. And most people who become bankrupt in the Dasha of the 8th house. Dasha of the 8th Lord is to be checked if the person is going to face the bankruptcy. This is the house which leads to humiliation. The whole society knows, okay, this man has become bankrupt, he's lost his wealth. The person faces embarrassment, humiliation in the society. This is a dasha which causes extreme mental stress. Sometimes, in extreme cases, some people can also commit suicide when they think that they will not be able to pay back these debts. So, 8th house is the main culprit house. Then comes the 12th house, house of losses, and afflicted 6th lord, 8th lord, or 12th lord in the second house. Second house is the house of wealth. So, afflicted 12th lord in the second house can lead to problems of losses, financial losses, causing financial instability. Afflicted second lord in the 12th house can lead to losses. So, 12th house is the house of losses. A weak 12th house, afflicted 12th house, shows lots of unexpected, unwanted expenses. Expenses on diseases, expenses on bad habits, over expenditure. You are spending more than what you have, leading to debts. So, 12th house should also be analyzed to check the debt problem. Now, friends, we'll try to understand how the planets play a role. Now, there are 9 planets which we know. Any one of the planet, when badly placed in 6, 8, 12 and second house, can lead to financial problems. But every planet will give results based on its nature, as per the different karak tattvas which it governs. So now we'll try to understand how different planets play a role in bankruptcy and debt problem. The first and the foremost is Mars. If we read the classic astrological texts, in most of the texts, Mars is said to be the main planet responsible for debts. And if we analyze the horoscopes of people having debt problems and bankruptcy problem, we'll definitely find Mars somewhere coming into the picture. Mars is the karaka of 6th house. 6th house of debts, of struggles, of obstacles, of enemies, of court cases. Mars is the karaka of fights, of enemies, of court cases, obstacles. So an afflicted Mars in a chart is not good. And when Mars is afflicted in a chart, it leads to aggression in a person, uncontrolled aggression. Person takes impulsive decisions. Mars gives the risk-taking habit in a person. The ability to take risks comes from the Mars. But when Mars is afflicted, person may take risks which person should not take. Uncalculated risks. Person does not think much. Mars is a planet of action. Mars in action, or my way or the highway. Now here, Mars, when afflicted, person takes quick actions without a reasonable logic or thinking. Decisions are taken in haste. Hasty decisions are taken. Quick decisions without thinking much. Loans are taken in haste. And Mars is the karaka of property. Mars is the governor of property, land, business expansion. So here, even the Mars is afflicted, person can take wrong decisions in haste, in impulsiveness, which may go wrong. It can lead to court cases, conflicts, competition. Person may venture into business just out of ego. He wants to win the race. So an afflicted Mars is found in most horoscopes of debts, especially when Mars is in Cancer, it's debilitated in Cancer. Very, very careful. The other planet important is Saturn. Saturn is also a very planet responsible for the problem of debt. Saturn is the karaka of poverty. Saturn is the planet which governs poverty. An afflicted Saturn in the chart means instability in the career, problems in the career, troubles in the career, leading to financial instability and poverty. Saturn as such is the natural significator of 6th house and the 8th house. It's the karaka of the 6th house, 8th house. It's karaka of property, scarcities. Saturn brings scarcities in life, limited things in life. There's a lack of resources in life. Saturn is the karaka of delays, burden. The person does not get the returns on time. Person expected the returns will come, he's given the money, he's invested the money, but there is delays. Some unexpected delays occurred. It is the karaka of loans and burden liabilities. So afflicted Saturn is not good. Afflicted Saturn in the second house 12th house, 6th house, and 8th house in its dasha can lead to problem of debts. The next planet is Rahu. Rahu is the great illusionist, the planet of obsession, the planet of overexpansion, the planet of unsatisfied material hunger, planet of greed, scam. When the Rahu is afflicting the horoscope, person can become victim of frauds and scams, leading to bankruptcy. Rahu gives the ideas to become rich quickly. Rahu gives the ideas to invest money in some schemes which are not checked upon properly, unreasonable, gives ideas to invest in stock market, crypto market, and leads to financial losses. Person becomes victim of deception, cheating, and gambling. So Rahu is the main planet responsible for this. And a badly placed Rahu, especially in the 12th house and the 8th house. 12th house is the house of expenses or investments. Person starts investing money in wrong schemes. 8th house is the house of unpredictable results, bankruptcy. Rahu in the 8th house can lead to bankruptcy in its dasha. Rahu, even if not in the D1 chart, not in the 8th house, but present in such a sign which falls in Namash, which falls in the 8th house of the D1 chart. This is the dasha when person should be very, very careful. This is dasha which can bring the downfall of a person. Rahu is a planet of illusions. It gives a clouded vision. It's a planet of smoke. One of the factors of Rahu is smoke. Karka is a smoke. That means somewhere the clarity is not there. Rahu is also the Karka of ant hills. Ant hills means the mountains without base, without a strong base. So person is making mountains without base, is having plans without base. Person thinking, okay, things will happen, let's start, money will come, people will invest money, people like my scheme, but there's no groundwork. So chasing a dream, think they can afford more than they have. Things look fine until they collapse suddenly. So this is how the Rahu works. So be very careful if Rahu is in the 8th house, in D1 chart, or in such a sign in the D9 chart, which falls in the 8th house of the D1 chart. This is dasha which can bring the downfall of a person. Now Mercury is the main planet because this is the planet of business. In most charts, where the problem of bankruptcy is there, problem of debts is there, Mercury is in most charts is involved. And whenever it's a chart of a businessman, if he is facing the financial problem, then the first planet to look after is Mercury. Because Mercury is the main governor or karka of business. Mercury is the planet of planning, making future plans, analyzing things, logic. Mercury is the planet of calculations, the calculation of risks and the calculation of benefits, accounting, the books you maintain, the accounts you maintain, everything comes in the domain of Mercury. Mercury is the planet of liquid cash, the notes which we have, the 500 note, 100 rupee, 200 rupees notes, the currency. Mercury is the karaka of currency. It's the transactions, business transaction, contracts, all the business contracts, the legal contract related to business, paperwork of the business, all come under the domain of Mercury. So when Mercury is afflicted in charts, weak in chart, the person may make mistake in planning, he may not calculate the proper risks and benefits, there may be problem of paperwork related to the business, leading to the legal troubles of collapse of the business. Person can make wrong judgment, wrong calculations. The person will have financial miscalculation, will not be able to maintain the financial accounting properly. There could be a possibility of fraud and cheating due to wrong paperwork and bad accounts when the Mercury is affected in the chart. Now these are the combinations, how the various planets in combination with the conjunction with Mercury give the results leading to debts and bankruptcy. If Mercury is with Rahu and they are afflicted, for example, Mercury is debilitated in the sign of Pisces, or they are in a bad house like 6th house, 8th house or 12th house. Person may invest money in stock market, crypto, gambling. Trap of shortcut, may fall in the trap to become rich at a very short notice. Just give me a minute, I'll take a break for 1 minute. मेरा बैटरी डाउन है। So Mercury with Rahu. Rahu is a planet which gives ideas to the. Now Mercury is the planet of logic. It's an analytical mind. Now Rahu is giving the odd ideas. Rahu is giving Mercury plus Rahu. Person is getting ideas of making quick money, shortcuts, like investing in stock market, investing in crypto market, and this is where the person falls in a trap and loses the money, leading to debts and bankruptcy. The next is combination is Mercury and Mars. Now Mercury is your mind and logic, and Mars is impulsiveness. When they are afflicted, the conjunction of Mercury and Mars is afflicted. A person takes impulsive decisions. Persons takes impulsive decisions without proper reasoning, without proper thinking and planning, out of aggression, out of competitive feeling, for leading to bad investments and losses. Mars and Mercury as such are prime enemies. The horoscopes where the Lagan Lord, the ascending Lord is Mercury, Mars is either the 8th Lord or 6th Lord. For example, in Gemini Lagna, in Gemini Ascendant, Mars is the 6th Lord. In Virgo Ascendant, Mars is the 3rd Lord and the 8th Lord. So in both these Mercury ruled ascendants, Mars is the prime enemy, 6th and 8th Lord. And the Lagnas ruled by Mars, for example, the Mesh Lagna, Aries Lagna, Mercury is the 6th Lord, and in Scorpio Ascendant, Mercury is the 8th Lord. So again, for the Lagnas ruled by Mars, Mercury is the 6th and 8th. They are prime enemies. So the combination, if present in a chart and afflicted, for example, Mars is in Cancer along with Mercury, or Mercury is in Pisces along with Mars, or they are afflicted by Saturn, Ketu and Rahu in 6th, 8th or 12th house, it's a very bad combination for business. So if such a chart comes in front of us and we see this combination, we should be very, very careful about this dasha. The next bad combination is Mercury plus Ketu. Now why this is a bad combination? Now Mercury is a planet of intellect and thinking. Now the problem with Ketu is Ketu doesn't have senses. Ketu is a headless planet. Rahu and Ketu are part of the same planet, Svarbhanu. It was a Svarbhanu Rakshas. The head of the Svarbhanu became the Rahu and the rest of the body became Ketu. So Ketu doesn't have head. Ketu is a headless planet, doesn't have senses. So Ketu doesn't have logic. Ketu doesn't have perception. Ketu shows a blind spot, area where you are confused, area which you cannot think about, you cannot perceive. So Mercury plus Ketu means that your mind is having a blind spot. Somewhere the person is not able to now see the complete picture. Mercury plus Ketu means a businessman who is having this combination is not able to see the complete picture. When he's taking a business idea, he's trying to invest money into some business idea, he has missed some important part of the plan. He has not looked or somewhere he has missed an important aspect of the business. And there his judgment goes wrong because he missed something important and his business idea fails. So that is the problem with Mercury plus Ketu. And let me tell you, in horoscopes, where the problem of debts is there, I have seen some horoscopes which have Mercury plus Ketu plus Mars. This is a very, very, I can say, very difficult combination. Mercury plus Ketu plus Mars. Now, Mercury is the business idea, Mars is the impulsiveness, Ketu is the blind spot. So, businessman is making an impulsive decision without knowing the complete picture. Total disaster. So please be careful with this combination, Mercury plus Mars plus Ketu. Now, Mercury plus Saturn. Again, not a good combination if afflicted, because Mercury is your cash, liquid cash, Saturn is your delays. So problem with the cash, delays in cash, delays in income, delays in getting returns back. So person can fall into gradual debt trap. Another bad combination if Mercury is combust. If Mercury is very, very close to Sun, it's combusted, Sometimes these people can be in problem due to their egoistic decisions. Person may have tendency that okay, I know everything, I'm the boss, I know everything, I have thought about everything, and due to this overconfidence, the businessman or the person may take a wrong decision and lead to problem. So this is how the planets are affecting the Mercury and can lead to debt problems. The next planet is Ketu. Now, how Ketu leads to problems financial? Ketu is the loss of financial grip. Friends, Ketu is a planet which is known as Mukti Karka, a planet which gives you mukti, gives you moksha, gives you detachment. Ketu is not a materialistic planet in astrology. Ketu has nothing to do with richness or desire to earn wealth. Ketu has nothing to do with that. So whenever Ketu is linked to the second house, sixth house, planet of wealth, Ketu, person having Ketu doesn't know how to handle the wealth. Person with very strong Ketu or strong Ketu effect on their financial planets, second lord, 11th lord, in the second house, these people don't know how to handle wealth. They don't know what to do with the money, where to put the money, where to invest the money. Sometimes I've seen these people even don't know where their money is. And they are confused about money. What should they do with money? Ketu has nothing to do with money. So this is the confusion leading to financial problems. They are not able to grow their money. Their investments may go bad. They put money just on somebody say something, on some faith, not with the logic. They are not practical about money. They ignore the practical details. So because of this loss of financial awareness, they make mistakes leading to debt. They are negligent towards money. They don't know what to do with money, how to handle that money. Ketu, I have seen people who have Ketu in second house, Ketu in 11th house, Ketu in close conjunction with Venus in D1 or D9. They have problems. They have money problems. Because Venus is the natural lord of finance and coming in connection with Ketu problem. In some charts, I have seen Ketu in 6th house of debts. The 6th lord is in the second house. The dispositor of Ketu, Ketu in 6th house, 6th lord in second house. Again, problem of debts and finance. Ketu's effect going from 6th to the second house. Again, problem. So we should be very careful in charts where Ketu is very, very prominent. The problem is these people doesn't know how to handle the money. Now, moon is very, very significant planet for wealth. Sun and moon are the royal planets of the horoscope. Sun is the king and moon is the queen. Sun provides, moon sustains. Moon is the sustainer of the chart. Moon is the natural fourth lord of comforts, of peace. So all the comforts in life, all the things which will give us comfort, rest to our body, comfort to our physique, to our mind, they all come from moon. Moon is the main significator planet for that. So all the wealth which we have, it is sustained by the power of moon. A person having afflicted moon, despite of having everything, is not able to feel relaxed, is not able to enjoy the wealth. He doesn't have the peace of mind. So weak moon people find difficult in sustaining the wealth. And one of the yogas which is also considered very bad yoga in astrology is Kemdrum yoga. How is this Kemdrum yoga formed? Kemdrum yoga means that moon is alone. Now moon is a planet which comes out in night, and along with moon comes stars. So moon doesn't like to be alone. Moon needs company. Moon never comes out alone. Along with moon come stars. All the nakshatras come. Moon is the Chandrama, Chandradev. He has 27 wives. 27 nakshatras come along with moon. Moon doesn't like to be alone. And sun is the planet which comes in the day and it's alone. There's no other planet. King. Sun is the king. I don't need anybody. I am the boss. But it's not that with moon. Moon is emotional planet. It needs an emotional support. It needs company. So in horoscopes where moon is alone, there is no other planet with the moon. There is no other planet in second house or 12th house to the moon. There's no benefic aspect on the moon from Jupiter, Venus, then this forms a Kemdrum Yoga. An unexpected moon without any conjunction of any other planet, without any planet in second, 12th house, is Kemdrum Yoga. And in this Kemdrum Yoga, we do not consider Sun, Rahu, and Ketu. If Sun, Rahu, and Ketu are present in second house to the moon, 12th house, then we do not consider them. It's still Kemdrum Yoga. Because when Sun is very close to the moon, moon becomes very weak in Pakshbal. Moon is a sheen moon. It's a moon of it's a waning moon, decreasing moon. Moon doesn't have power. And Rahu Ketu are the enemies of moon. Rahu Ketu both are enemies of sun and moon. So these are not considered as a support to the moon. So people with Kemdrum Yoga find it difficult to take right decisions in life. Another important yoga of moon which leads to depths is a waning moon in the 6th house. Any lagna, any ascendant. A waning moon in the 6th house can lead to depths. Because moon is decreasing, it doesn't have the power, its mind is disturbed, 6th house is of diseases, debts and problems. So mind of the person is already disturbed by debt, disease and problems. Even if the Navash lord of the moon is weak, moon is considered weak. Whichever sign the moon sits in the Navash D9 chart, the lord of that sign in the D1 chart, if afflicted, if weak. Now because Navash dispositor of the moon is weak, Navash is the main planet which shows the internal strength of the planet. Main chart, it shows the internal strength of the planet. So Navash dispositor is very, very important. We have to analyze the Navash. For the strength of planet, we have to analyze the Navash position of the planet and the Navash dispositor in the D1 chart. Now Jupiter is the Karaka of wealth, is the Karaka of banks, treasury. Afflicted Jupiter means that person may not be able to enjoy the wealth, may not have abundance in life. Jupiter is a planet which gives satisfaction, contentment. Afflicted Jupiter means person may not be able to enjoy his wealth, may not feel content. And especially for Libra Lagna people. These are the people who should be very, very careful. Libra Lagna. Because in these people, in these horoscopes, Jupiter becomes the 6th lord. Jupiter is the 6th lord of debts. So whenever Dasha of Jupiter comes in the life of a Libra ascendant person, this person should be very, very careful. This is Dasha which will bring enemies, which bring diseases, will bring debts and loans in the life. This is a troublesome Dasha in Libra Lagna horoscopes, Dasha of Jupiter. Another very important sutra of depths, Jupiter which is Vakri, which is retrograde, in the 2nd house or the 8th house, in 2-8 axis, 2nd house and the 8th house. A retrograde Jupiter in 2nd house and 8th house, afflicted by malefics like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu. This Dasha will bring the downfall of the person. Or, even if the Jupiter is not retrograde, Jupiter is direct, but it is afflicted by a retrograde planet, by a retrograde Mars, retrograde Saturn, retrograde Saturn with Rahu or Ketu, they are always retrograde. This Dasha can bring extreme financial problems. 2nd house is the house of wealth, 8th house is the house of bankruptcy, opposite to 2nd house problem. Either retro Jupiter afflicted by a malefic or direct Jupiter afflicted by retro malefic. This is Dasha given in many texts, astrology texts. This sutra has come from the textbook of Horasara, translation by Sri R. Santhanam. And he also explained some horoscopes there with this principle. And I have found this working. Now comes the next planet of wealth, Karaka of wealth, that is Venus, the planet of luxury, richness, enjoyment of wealth. Afflicted Venus, especially in the D9, can lead to financial losses. In astrological classics, it's mentioned that a very strongly debilitated Venus in the D9 chart can destroy all the Dhan Yogas. A debilitated Venus in the D9 chart, if no Neech Bhanga is occurring, can destroy all the wealth yogas, can make a king a pauper. Such is such is significant as the weakness of the planet Venus. Wealth, health issues can be there. Now, after the houses and planets, now which are the signs related to debts and bankruptcy? Which are the main signs we should check for debts and bankruptcy? First and foremost is the signs of Mars, both the signs of Mars. Now, Mars is a soldier. The main purpose of soldier is to fight war. Mars is not the planet of wealth. Mars is the planet of war. And the two signs of Mars, Scorpio is the most critical sign. Scorpio is the sign of crisis, is the sign of war, sign of disaster. War is a disaster. War means lots of things are getting damaged, destroyed. Sides are attacking each other, blasts are happening, people are dying. There's extreme crisis, there's extreme disaster. Disaster means losses, financial losses, total destruction. So Scorpio is the main sign where if it is in the 6th house, 8th house, the planet sitting in Scorpio in 6th house and 8th house, we should be very careful in that dasha. This dasha can bring the downfall of the person. Person may have sudden losses, frauds in this dasha. Aries is a very, very high energetic sign of Mars. Aries has no patience. It's my way or the highway. Impulsiveness. So planet sitting in Aries, especially Mercury in the Aries, afflicted Mercury in the Aries, afflicted by further Rahu or Ketu or Saturn, which debilitates in the Aries. A person may make some impulsive decision leading to losses. Another important sign is Virgo. Virgo is a sign where the Venus is debilitated. It's a sign of Mercury. So it's a debt sign, natural debt sign, not good. The planet sitting in Virgo in 6th, 8th or 12th house can lead to financial problems. Now Pisces, the sign, natural sign of 12th house. This is a sign of losses. This is a sign where the planet of business, the planet of logic, Mercury, the planet of analysis, Mercury, is debilitated. So person having Mercury in Pisces means person is not using his brain, is not using logic. Person is just working on faith. So person, it's a Jal Tattva Rashi. Pisces is a watery element. It's a sign where emotions are high. So person is taking emotional decisions here, not the logical decisions. So bad decisions lead to losses and wrong investments. So these are the 4 primary signs where the planet sitting in these signs in 6th, 8th, 12th houses can lead to bad financial decisions leading to bankruptcy or debts. Now friends, this is a debt formula on which I have arrived after, I can say, studying about 70 to 80 horoscopes. I've read about 70 to 80 horoscopes of people having debt problem, bankruptcy problem. And this is what I found in this common pattern I found in all these charts. Many of these charts have afflicted Saturn. Saturn is the planet Karam Karaka, the regulator of profession. Afflicted Saturn means instability in profession. Afflicted Saturn means delay, laziness, not doing the right thing, leading to delays, burdens. Rahu, afflicting the Mercury, giving wrong ideas. Rahu in the 2nd house, in over expenditure, over expansion of the money. No proper planning, no planning without any groundwork. Just making some castles in the air. Things will happen, money will come, oh I will say it, but no groundwork, no reality. Lose of contact with reality. Afflicted Mars, very commonly seen, especially when Mars is in the Cancer sign, debilitated. Person takes impulsive actions. Weak Mercury, bad decisions. Very common in charts of debts and bankruptcy. Ketu, afflicting the 2nd house or 11th house. Ketu in close conjunction with the 2nd lord or the 11th lord. Ketu close conjunction with Venus, financial problem. In all these charts of debts, 2nd, 8th and 12th house you will find afflicted. Retrograde planets, very, very important. 8th house retrograde planet, planet of downfall, planet of reversal of business, planet of collapse of business. In all the charts of bankruptcy, retrograde planets are involved in 2-8 axis. I am going to show some charts also and we will see all these principles working. Weak moon is present there. And Vargottam horoscope. This is another very, very important principle. Why Vargottam horoscopes? What is the now Vargottam horoscope means that in both D1 chart and D9 chart, the main chart and the Navamsh chart, person is having same ascendant. If Libra ascendant is in the D1 chart, Libra ascendant is in the D9 chart. If Cancer ascendant is the D1 chart, Cancer ascendant is in the D9 chart. So these are Vargottam horoscope. Now what is the problem with Vargottam horoscopes is in that in both these horoscopes, 6th lord, 8th lord is same planet. Because the ascendant is same, all the signs are in the same places. So 6th lord and 8th lord, 12th lord, they all are same planets. So in Vargottam horoscopes, Dasha of 6th lord means that is also Dasha of 6th lord of D9. Dasha of 8th house of D1 is also the Dasha of 8th house of D9. So these are the horoscopes most out of 70 to 80 horoscopes of depth people I checked. I can say 40 to 50% of horoscopes were Vargottam horoscopes. Very common. Now friends, now we move to example horoscopes. Let's analyze all this principle which we have discussed and check their application in some horoscopes. Now friends, this is the horoscope of a great legend of Bollywood, one of the biggest megastars of Indian movie industry, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Now friends, I think we all know that despite of being the biggest Bollywood star, one of the richest man in Bollywood, in 1990s, he faced severe debt problem. It was a dasha of Mercury. He had Mercury Mahadasha running during this period, and this was a very, very bad dasha for him. This was a dasha which he made him nearly bankrupt. As per the news report, he had a debt of 90 crore rupees in Mercury Mahadasha. Now, why it happened, friends? Now, let's check the principles we have discussed in this chart. Friends, here the Mercury is the 8th lord, 8th house of debts, of bankruptcy, sitting in the sign of Virgo, natural sign of debts, natural sign of Kalpurush Kundali 6th house, where Venus, the planet of wealth, is debilitated. Here again in the Mercury, Venus is debilitated, sitting together. So it was this Mercury Venus Dasha. Mercury is the planet of business. Mercury gives the ideas of business. And Mercury, I told, retrograde planets in 2 8 axis not good. Retrograde planet in 2nd house or 8th house not good. Mercury is retrograde here in the 8th house. Mercury is retrograde here, Vakri here. So in Mercury, where Venus Dasha, he started the business. And in Mercury's Sun, his business started collapsing. He had downfall of the business. He was not able to manage his business. Sun is again in the 8th house. And who is Sun? Sun is a dispositor of Rahu. Rahu in the Leo, clouded vision. His ideas, his future planning was not right. 5th house, Leo. Leo is a sign of future planning. 5th house is future planning. Rahu in the sign of Leo, giving wrong business ideas, unplanned business ideas, no groundwork, not understanding the ground realities, making castles in the sky. The dispositor of Rahu is Sun. 7th house is the house of business. 7th house is the house of business, partnerships. So he had some ideas which did not work out, and when the Sun came, his business started collapsing. And it was the moon when debt problem started. People started coming to his house to ask for his money. Who is moon? Moon is the 6th lord of debts. Moon is the 6th lord of debt. 6th house and 8th house are the 2 houses of debts. And 8th house is the house of bankruptcy. And Mars, it was in Mars Antardasha, he declared himself to be bankrupt. Diwala nikal gaya, bankruptcy. Mars again in the 8th house in sign of Mercury, Virgo. Mars and Mercury are enemies, prime enemies. Mercury and Mars Dasha left to his bankruptcy. So now we have seen all the principles working. 8th house, debts and bankruptcy. Debilitated Venus, Sun in the 8th house, dispositor of Rahu, giving wrong ideas, vague ideas, ideas without any groundwork. Moon, sixth lord, again sixth lord. And Moon and Mercury are enemies. Mercury does not like Moon. And Mercury, Mars, he became bankrupt. So I have already given in my debt formula, Mars is the main planet of bankruptcy. Natural eighth lord, the sign Scorpio, which comes naturally to the eighth house, is the sign of Mars. Next chart. Okay, let's also see the D9 chart of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Now here also we can see Mars is debilitated. Mars is in Cancer. In all the charts of severe debt problem, in bankruptcy charts, in many such charts, we will find Mars in Cancer in D1 or D9. We will find it. Now this is a horoscope of another legend, a sports legend, Diego Maradona, one of the greatest football players. But in the 8th house Dasha, the Mercury Mahadasha, Mercury is the 8th lord. This man, at one time a very rich man, one of the greatest football players, in this Mahadasha he became bankrupt. He lost all his money. He overspended all his money on wrong habits, wrong things. And throughout his life he was in debts. He was living on government aid, government help. Government was paying him some money to survive. This was his condition. He had millions and billions of dollars of debt. Mercury is the 8th lord of bankruptcy, and it is Vakri, it's retrograde. Mars is sitting there. Mars is the Scorpio lord, Lagan lord, exchange of Lagan and the 8th house. Mars, Mercury are the prime enemies. Mercury is Vakri. This was the Dasha which destroyed him. In Mercury, Jupiter is in 2nd house. Jupiter is afflicted by Saturn, expected by Mars. Jupiter in 2-8 axis, afflicted by malefics, not good. It is tax issues. Debt started in Jupiter, antardasha. In Mercury, Shani, his tax liability increased a lot. Debt started a lot. He was in crisis. Saturn is the 3rd and 4th lord, afflicting this Jupiter in 2nd house. Afflicted further, there is two malefics, Saturn and Mars, two natural malefics. Mars is also the 6th lord. Aries falls in 6th house. Mars is the 6th lord. Now let's go to the next horoscope. Now this is a chart which everybody wants to understand. Chart of at one time this was the richest man of India. Comes from the richest family of India, Mr. Anil Ambani family. Two brothers. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is still the richest man in India. The second brother, Anil Ambani, he was as good as the Mukesh Ambani. When these two brothers separated their businesses, they were both almost equal. Now today, Mukesh Ambani is still the richest man in India and one of the richest men in the world. Mr. Anil Ambani is bankrupt. He had faced extreme humiliation because of his bankruptcy. In 2021 or 20, I think, in a court case, in a court in UK, he has declared that I have zero bank balance, Mr. Anil Ambani. I don't have any money left. He's completely in debts, almost bankrupt. He's facing lots of court cases. And when this did happen, it all happened in Jupiter Dasha, Jupiter Mahadasha. Why? Because Jupiter is the 6th lord of debts. 6th lord of debts. It's Vakri, it's retrograde. It's dispositor of retrograde Saturn. Saturn is the 8th lord. This Saturn is the 8th lord, has come to 6th house. 8th lord in 6th house. 8th lord of bankruptcy, debts, in 6th house of debts, and Vakri, retrograde. Jupiter is the dispositor of 6th house, lord of 6th house, dispositor 8th. Again Jupiter is Vakri. Mars is debilitated here, Nicha. Mars is in Cancer sign, debilitated. Another rule of debts and bankruptcy. In Jupiter moon, he had extreme debt stress. In Jupiter Mars, debt crisis. In Jupiter Rahu, he faced humiliation in the court. Court cases was going on against him. Now this chart has a very unique combination. Very, very unique combination. Now in this chart, three planets are bad planets. The sixth lord is Jupiter, the eighth lord is Saturn, and Mercury is the 12th lord. All three bad houses, 6th and 12th, the lords, they all are together here. Mars, Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter. All the bad lords together here in Nama's chart. In the sign of Cancer, this is very, very important here. All these three planets, which are the bad lords of D1 chart, are together in D9 chart. In the sign of Cancer, this Cancer sign is the Lagna of D1. So that means they are present here. They are giving their effect here. All these bad house planets are giving their effect output in the Lagna, in the ascendant. So the question is, will he come out of his problem? Will he come out of his debts? I don't think so. No, I don't think so he will come out. Because all these bad plots are affecting his Lagna. Venus with debilitated Mars, Vakri Jupiter, Vakri Saturn. Where is the problem? What is the problem? Why is he not able to come out of the debts? Because he is having wrong thinking. His Mars is debilitated in the Lagna Lord. He is not able to think properly. The Lagna Lord Moon which seems to be strong here. Moon is sheen. It's a waning moon. Moon is going towards sun. Lagna Lord which seems to be strong here. There is exchange of Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. The 10th Lord Mars is in the Lagna. The Lagna Lord Moon is in the 10th house. So it seems to be strong. The Neech Bhang has occurred. But does this moon have strength? This is a weak moon. It's a waning moon going toward the sun. And this moon is debilitated here in Kemdrum Yoga. Moon has only Ketu in second house. No good planet in second 12th. No good planet expecting it. No planet expecting it from here. Yes, the aspect of Jupiter is there. Aspect of Jupiter is there, but is it good enough? Because moon is also debilitated here. The Lagna Lord is debilitated in the D9 chart, not good. It's a weak moon, it's a waning moon, it's a debilitated moon in D9, it's in Kemdrum Yoga, partial Kemdrum Yoga I can say, it's not good. So I don't think he will be able to come out of the debt. People who come out of the debt, the problem of debt, have very strong Lagna. They are very strong and powerful Lagna. The willpower is very strong. Why Mr. Amitabh Bachchan came out of debts? Because Lagna is very powerful. His Lagna is aspected by its Lagna Lord. Very powerful. His Lagna has a Adi Yoga. There is a Lagnadi Yoga in his Lagna. Very powerful Lagna he has. He is a very strong willpower. But he is not having. Let's go to the next horoscope. Now this is a horoscope of another big celebrity, sports celebrity. He was very rich at one point of time. Not celebrity, I think he's a music celebrity. Sorry, it's a music celebrity. He was a singer. At one point of time, he was a very successful. His albums were selling, making records, music records. But it was Rahu Madasha which made him bankrupt due to over expansion, overspending. Rahu in the Kark Rashi in second house. He started making plans without ground royalties. He started expanding his assets, buying properties, spending money on assets, creating assets without having proper income. Expenditures were more than his income. So gradually, debt started piling up. And at one point, he almost became bankrupt. He had to sell his assets to pay the debts. In Rahu Moon, he became bankrupt. Moon is in the 8th house of bankruptcy. With the Saturn and Ketu. 8th Lord is there, Ketu is there, Moon is there. 2-8 axis is very, very bad. When Vakri planets are there, when malefic planets are there, 2-8 axis is very, very bad. Mercury is debilitated. giving wrong ideas. Ideas on emotions, no logic. Moon in Pisces. Please go and check my debt formula. Please go and check my previous slides. Please listen this to my video from beginning. I've told that Mercury in Pisces is not good. Again, another rule, Vargottam Kundli. The same planets are afflicted in both. It's Gemini sign in D9, Gemini in D1. Dasha of Rahu. Rahu is in the 8th house here. The Rahu which was in 2nd house here is in the 8th house here in D9. Same 8th house here. It's giving the output in D9 in the 8th house. 8th house is a bad house. It's a house of collapse, downfall, humiliation, scandals. So any planet coming to the 8th house in D1 due to Navash is not good. Chart of another rich sportsman, Mark Brunel, became bankrupt in Moon Venus and Moon Sun. Moon Madasha, he became bankrupt. Who is Moon? Moon is the 5th lord in 2nd house of wealth with debilitated Saturn. A very afflicted 2nd house because 12th house lord debilitated in 2nd house and Vakri, retrograde. Rule, I told the rule, Jupiter into 2nd house or 8th house, aspected by a Vakri malefic. Jupiter may be Vakri or aspected by a Vakri planet in 2-8 axis, very, very bad. Now Jupiter here is sitting in the 8th house of bankruptcy, debts, aspected by a 12th lord which is debilitated, which is Vakri by Saturn from 2nd house. Moon Madasha made him bankrupt. Moon is sitting in 2nd house, made him bankrupt. Another combination which I told, Mars, Ketu, Mercury. Blind investments, blind business ideas without any logic. Mars is the property, Ketu is the blind spot, Mercury is the business idea. Wrong business ideas. He invested money into the property market. Property market crashed, leading to his bankruptcy. In Mars, Rahu, he became bankrupt. Mars is the 2nd lord in 6th house of debts. Rahu is in the 12th house of losses. He became bankrupt in Mars, Rahu. 6th, 8th, 12th house afflicted. Now this is a horoscope of a businessman. In Surya Mahadasha, Surya is exalted here, but it is the 8th lord of bankruptcy. Sun is the 8th lord. And it's again a Navash, it's again a Vargottam Kundli. Please be careful whenever a Vargottam Kundli comes. Sun is the 8th lord. Sun is sitting in the 6th house in Navash. Sun is giving its output in the 6th house here. So business decisions gone wrong, leading to debts. 6th and 8th house are coming in picture. Sun is the 8th lord sitting in the 6th house here. It's the Vargottam Kundli. This sun should be considered here. So this man lost all his business in the 6th house and became into debts. Now friend, this is another horoscope of a businessman I know personally. He's a client of mine. This man has a habit of taking a lot of loans. He takes loans from his friends, from his family members, from the market, other businessman. And he runs his business, expands his business. Mercury and Venus sitting in the 6th house of loan debts in the sign of Scorpio. But 8th house has not come into play. He is running Venus Mahadasha. He has taken loans throughout his Venus Mahadasha, but he has paid them back. Please go back to my slide of difference in 6th house and 8th house. 6th house debts are your routine debts which you pay back, which you are taking loan and paying back the EMI. 8th house debts are the debts which leads to bankruptcy. So this man does not have 8th house problem. It's only the 6th house debts he's having, and he's able to earn money and pay them back gradually. Now friends, coming to some of the remedies, and these remedies are not my personal remedies. I'm going to discuss the remedies for debt and bankruptcy. People, those who are having these problems, can do these remedies, and I'm sure they will benefit. Reason is the remedies are coming from Vedic scriptures. These are not remedies created by me. These are mentioned in our scriptures, in our Vedic scriptures, in Puranas, by the great Maharishis. And Maharishis never lie. Whatever they say is absolute truth. This is my own personal experience. So the remedies are, if anybody is having the problem of debt due to afflicted Mars, Mars is in the 8th house, 6th house, Mars is in Cancer, and the Dasha of Mars is running, or the dispositor of Mars is running, and the problem of debt is due to property, wrong investments in the business. The remedy for Mars is Rin Mochak Mangal Stotra. Rin is debt, Mochak means destruction of debt, and Mangal Stotra is the prayer to the planet Mars. It comes from Skand Puran. This remedy is coming from Skand Puran. So this stotra is available online. People who are interested can download it from online and start reading it on every Tuesday. They can read it every day, but must read it on Tuesday. And it is said to be the best remedy for problems of Mars related debts. These people should fast on Tuesdays. And we all know that Hanumanji is linked to Mars. So Hanuman Chalisa also they can do. And these people can donate the things of Mars, like Masoor Dal, pulse, and donate to poor and needy people. So the donation of Masoor Dal, pulse is Masoor pulse, Hanuman Chalisa reading, fasting on Tuesdays, and reading of Rin Mochak Mangalsutra on every day and mainly on Tuesday are the remedies for afflicted Mars. And another very powerful remedy for Mars is the issue of bankruptcy. Because this remedy is a prayer to Bhagwan Narsimha. And why it's linked to bankruptcy? The logic is that Bhagwan Narsimha had a deadline. Bhagwan Narsimha had a very critical condition under which he could kill the demon Hiranyaksh. That he has to be killed at a particular time when there is no day and there is no night. So there was a deadline for him. So similarly, if there is a deadline that you have to pay back a debt, otherwise you become bankrupt, such a critical situation is there. These people should read this prayer. The name of the prayer is Lakshmi Narsimha Karavallabham Stotra. This stotram is composed by great Adi Shankaracharya. The great Adi Shankaracharya, the great Rishi, has composed this prayer, Lakshmi Narsimha Karavallam Stotram. Karavallabh means protector. Bhagwan Narsimha is the protector. So reading of this stotram, when the problem of bankruptcy is there and Mars is afflicted, it's given in Puranas and scriptures, should be done. The problem of Mercury and Ketu. The deity which can get problem solved is Ganeshji. Both Mercury and Ketu are linked to Ganeshji in astrology. Mercury is a planet of intellect and Bhagwan Ganesh is the god of intellect. He is known as Devta of Buddhi, Buddhi ka Devta. He is a god of intelligence. So people having afflicted Mercury should pray to Bhagwan Ganeshji. And Ketu is also linked to Bhagwan Ganesh. Ketu is said to be the Kevalya state, the Moksha state, and this elephantine nose of Bhagwan, the trunk of Bhagwan Ganeshji symbolizes Ketu. So when in horoscopes where the problem of bankruptcy is due to Mercury and Ketu, these people should reach Rin Mochan Mahaganipati Stotra. Rin means debt, Mochan means destruction of debt, Mahaganpati is the great Ganesha, and Stotra is the prayer. Rin Mochan Mahaganpati Stotra, they should read. And these people also should feed sannyasis, monks and fakirs. Why? Because these people represent Ketu. Sannyasis, monks and fakirs are represented by Ketu. So feeding these people, donating food to these people will also appease and satisfy the Ketu. And feeding fishes also. Fish is also linked to Ketu. Ketu is very comfortable and very positive in sign of Pisces, which is the sign of fishes. So feeding of fishes is also a positive remedy for the problems of Ketu. And the last remedy is due to Jupiter, especially where Jupiter is afflicted by Saturn. This is Gajendra Moksha Stotra. It's a remedy for Jupiter. It comes from Vishnu Puran and Mad Bhagavad. This remedy comes from Vishnu Puran and Mad Bhagavad. This prayer shows an elephant. Elephant is represented by the Jupiter, who goes to a lake and is captured by his one feet is captured by a crocodile. So crocodile in the lake shows troubles, obstacles, shown by the Makar Rashi and Saturn. And then this elephant prays to Bhagavan Vishnu to help him. So this prayer is Gajendra Moksha. Especially for people who have afflicted Jupiter, reading of Ganesh Gajendra Moksha is the remedy prescribed by the scriptures. Other things these people can do is they can fast on Thursday. Thursday is the day of Jupiter. They can also pray to banana tree in temple. Banana tree also represents Jupiter. Banana tree is linked to Jupiter in astrology. Planting of banana tree is also very important. These people can plant a banana tree in the campus of the temple. Donating besan laddu, besan is also linked to Jupiter, and chana dal is also linked to Jupiter. So donating these items of Jupiter, praying to banana tree, planting of banana tree, and reading of Gajendra Moksha are the remedies for people who have afflicted Jupiter in chart in 2-8 axis, Vakri Jupiter, especially when Jupiter is Yuti with Saturn, aspected by Saturn, or dispositor of Saturn. Like in the chart of Mr. Anil Ambani, Saturn is sitting Vakri in the sign of Jupiter, in the 6th house. So it's afflicted by Saturn. So Gajendra Moksha is the remedy. So friend, this was my video on debts and bankruptcy. It was a very detailed video. I have tried to cover everything. I have tried to cover all the important houses, how different planets are related to debts and bankruptcy, which are the signs linked to debts and bankruptcy, and which dashas lead to debt and bankruptcy. And lastly, I have also discussed some horoscopes and remedies for debts and bankruptcy. So this was my analysis of debts and bankruptcy based on astrology. If you like my video, kindly subscribe to my channel and like my videos and share my videos. I'll come back again with some very other interesting topic. Till then, have a good time. Goodbye.